Mention the name Danny Wuerffel to a college football fan and they'll conjure up memories of one of the heroes of the 90s. An outstanding quarterback at the University of Florida, Wuerffel set 17 NCAA records during his career, leading the Gators to 4 Southeastern Conference championships. In 1996, he led them to the national title and won the Heisman Trophy, college football's most prestigious honor. Through all that time, though, Wuerffel's biggest concern was not wins and losses on the field, but forging a deeper relationship with Jesus Christ.
I think that the most clear defining moment for me was in college when, in the process of that, God really grabbed a hold of me and showed me that, I was a good kid. I didn't do bad things. But that's not what it means to be a Christian. It's not being a good person. It's about knowing Jesus and to realize that even the good things that I did were so often motivated by selfish reasons or fear or worrying about what people think. So really when I began to grapple with the inner motives and the sin of my heart, that it became really clear in a deeper way of what Jesus had done for me.
After bouncing around the NFL for a few seasons, Wuerffel was wrapping up his career in New Orleans when the Lord opened his next opportunity in a poor neighborhood in the city's 9th Ward.
I came to the neighborhood and saw the condition, saw a little girl walk out of a building. I thought the building was condemned years ago, and yet she was still living there. And to see kids with all this hope and joy when they're little, and as they grow up they lose that because they don't have hope, they don't have options, they don't have fairness and equitable chances to make it. And so I became impassioned about my love for the kids and didn't start off looking for it, but I think God knew it was looking for me.
That's how Wuerffel became involved in Desire Street Ministries, a group that for 15 years has been educating and redeveloping one of the most impoverished areas of New Orleans. Wuerffel has become so dedicated to Desire Street, he now serves as the group's executive director.
Well, we really believe that the best way to change an inner city community is for the people in the community to come together and change their own community. And so we really we work with leaders that are from a community. And so a couple of our success stories, one would be a young man named Oscar Brown who grew up in the projects right here, who faced all the same sort of things that other kids faced, and the violence around him, the drugs around him. Really, and to see that his life was transformed coming to the ministry. But then not only was his life transformed through his faith in Jesus, he goes off to college, he comes back, and then now he joins the staff, and he's currently the Dean of Discipline at our school, just affecting countless lives of youth. And that's a success story, someone from the neighborhood changing the neighborhood.
That neighborhood in all of New Orleans took a terrible beating from Hurricane Katrina. It would have been easy, understandable, if Wuerffel would have moved his team out of New Orleans. But if anything, Katrina has given this competitor an even greater challenge and brought Desire Street Ministries to even greater heights.
As bad as the storm was that it washed us out, it actually forced us to begin that next phase of Desire Street Ministries, of affecting other communities. And so now, while we remain committed to the 9th Ward, we have a church in the 8th Ward and after-school program as well there. Our school is in Baton Rouge, and we're growing a small ministry around the school in Baton Rouge and supporting other leaders already in other cities. And so we're very much committed to New Orleans, but we're also committed to the poor. And there are poor and disenfranchised in every city, and we want to support leaders to change communities all around the country.
Now mention the name Danny Wuerffel, and it's not just college football fans who see him as a hero. But Wuerffel will never see himself that way. In his eyes, he's just doing the Lord's work.
I think as a Christian, you have one life to give. And my story, the way God brought me to New Orleans, the way God brought me to Desire Street, the way I retired from football to join this staff, and then the hurricane hit, there's no questioning that this was a place that God brought me. It's a calling on my life. It's not a job. This is where God has called me to be.